Hello all and welcome back. So, this video, I'm going to go into some things in Japan, etc., but in relation to mask wearing, and I want to make that clear. So, a lot of people are saying, why wear masks? First of all, one of the ways they did stop the spread of the 1919 pandemic was masks were mandated throughout the world. You can find plenty of news articles from that time about them mandating it. And actually, from the news articles, it doesn't appear that they had the backlash about that we have now. I can't say for sure, but it doesn't appear that way. After that, most of the world quit wearing masks. Japan kept wearing masks. In Japan, if you have any hints of possibly being sick and of a family member being sick, slight sore throat, you put on a mask, even if it might be allergies. Anything, any hint of being sick, you put on a mask. Why is that important? Well, the mask wearing is actually not for your own sake, it's for others' sake. The water droplets, as they leave your mouth, are still big enough to be stopped by a mask. However, the farther they get out, the less chance of it being helpful. It still does a little bit and can help. That's why people with cancer, lowered immune systems, etc., will often wear a mask in public, because it can do some. However, if everyone who was sick put on a mask every time they went out, them or their family members put on a mask every time they went out, and if people actually stayed home more when they were sick, things like that, we wouldn't get sick as much. In Japan, they actually have a much lower rate of the flu and cold, etc., because people do that. As soon as they show signs, a mask is on. The problem is there is a gestation period where you still share it before you have any signs. And so that's actually why mask wearing during a pandemic can be so important, because you may be spreading it without having signs. And that's actually why with quarantine, they actually go back to people you've been around and ask them to also quarantine, because you might have spread it to them. So, one thing that's interesting to note is in Japan, everyone's been saying that their high longevity, things like that, are due to their diet, period. Well, that actually is not true. I've talked to people from Japan, even as long as 10 years ago. I heard this from people. Their diet actually, for the past while, has mimicked very much what we have in the US. One difference: they put on masks when they get sick, and they wear them whenever they're out, if they're sick, or if a family member's sick. Even just one family member, they prevent getting around other people. They try to do everything they can to not share illness. Their belief is that they are responsible for those around them, and then they need to protect others. And it actually has an impact on their death rates, things like that, because that's what they do. That's their culture, things like that. They never got rid of that idea from the 1919 pandemic. So why is that important now? Because now we have a virus going around the world again that was and we've proven that wearing masks in a pandemic can actually stop the pandemic or significantly reduce it. But on top of that, this virus is not as easy to develop antibodies for, so you can't fight it off as easy. And it's worse than the others. So, my feeling, in general, throughout the world, everyone should wear a mask if they have any signs of being sick. It would help everyone out. But two, especially during this time, wear a mask. You never know if you've been around someone who's been sick and now you're in the contagious period before you get sick. If we can slow that and significantly reduce that period, then we can end up with a shorter period of people being sick in general. Both flu seasons, fewer people will get the flu, cold, everything else. Masks are not bad. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.